So guys, Nigeria won, Japan 3 in the ongoing Olympics 2024 women's football. The beautiful ladies of Nigeria, the Super Falcons, are out. And we are going to talk about this. My name is Edem. I'm a Ghanaian. Ghana is not in the competition. But then I want to give my honest review and analysis about the game because it's very important to support our neighbors and also Africa. So guys, before we jump into it, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and also turn on notification quickly. Let's jump into it and talk about the game. If you take a look at the starting lineup for Nigeria, they made only one change. The change was Jennifer. She did not start against Spain. Every other player started against Spain except Jennifer. So I was expecting something different from Nigeria. Now, in the first 10 minutes in the game, I thought Nigeria were doing something until they lost focus. So let's take a look at the first half statistics. It's going to paint a clear picture of how the game went in the first half. Because of copyright reasons, we can't bring you, footage. So I'm going to try my best and give you account of what happened in the game based on the statistics. Now, ball possession, Nigeria 50, Japan 50. Now, this should tell you that that game was evenly played in the first half. Nigeria had their moments, Japan also had their moments. By the end of the day, it is what you do with the ball. And that is what you are going to take a look at. Because with ball possession, both teams did very well when they had the possession. They were trying to do something. Big chances created. Japan 2, Nigeria 0. That is where my problem was. Nigeria were not creating enough. To the extent that Japan had 2 big chances. Not only that, they capitalized and also made use of the chances they created. And they scored 2 goals out of the 2 big chances they created in the first half. So these are some of the statistics in the first half. Let's continue. Total shots. Japan 11, Nigeria 3. Now, out of the 11 total shots Japan played, they had 4 on target. Out of those 4, they scored. They scored 3 goals. Could you just imagine? 3. Nigeria had 3 shots, and only 1 was on target. That was the consolation goal they had in the first half. So you could understand how the game went. Even though they had the same possession, they were not creating chances. Nigeria was not creating chances. Japan rather were creating chances whenever they had possession. And they made sure they were clinical and capitalized on it. If you take a look at goalkeeper saves, Chiamaka made some good saves in the game, but I felt like when it comes to free kick, I don't know why. Spain, the goal Nigeria considered was through a free kick. The third goal Japan scored was through a free kick. And I feel like free kicks are routine saves for goalkeepers. You should be saving this any day, anytime. But Chiamaka, honestly, some of the goals that were considered today, you didn't do well. But then we'll come to player ratings very soon. Corner kicks. Japan 3, Nigeria 1. You can take a look at the other statistics like passes, tackles, free kicks, yellow cards, and cool. But then, let me just talk about the first half a bit because I actually watched the game. If you take a look at the game in the first half, I don't know if this is only pertains to only African countries. We always wait to be scored first before we start playing well. Nigeria were possessing the ball in the first 10 minutes, but they were not doing anything with the ball. It was as if they were playing amongst themselves and waiting. I don't know what they were waiting for, but they were just waiting. And they waited until they considered a goal. When they considered a goal, now they started attacking and they considered another one. That was when Nigeria started taking things serious, started creating chances. We shouldn't be doing so. Your start should always be sharp. Also, in the first half, the defense was so bad. As much as you want to blame the goalkeeper for some of the goals that were considered, the defenders, 4 and 5, Osanachi and Blessing, today, no. You guys were not in sync. There were just miscommunication throughout in that game. But then, guys, that was for the first half. Let's take a look at the second half and see how the second half went. Now, in the second half, there was no goal. No goals were scored in the second half. In the second half, Japan came with a game plan to manage the game. So, there was no goal in the second half. Japan were okay with the goals they scored in the first half, and they managed the game till the game ended. Now, let's take a look at the statistics. Ball possession, Japan 43, and Nigeria 57. So, clearly, Nigeria were handling the ball more. They had more possession. They were trying to move forward. They were trying to do something in the game. Now, if you take a look at big chances created, even in the second half, it was still Japan because Nigeria was moving forward more, and they were beating them on the counter. Yes, Japan was so quick on transition in this game, and I was like, wow, they could just pass 3, and they could be in the half of Nigeria. That was how they were playing. Quick passes, quick decision-making, quick transition, and I love this for Japan, honestly. Total shots in the second half, Japan had 10 shots. Nigeria had 7. Still, you see, even Nigeria getting more possession. They were not creating more. They were not even utilizing the chances they created to even play more shots or even hit the target. That was very painful to watch in the game. And I believe the Super Falcons, they need to work on their finishing. It is so important. Now, let's take a look at goalkeeper saves. Japan goalkeeper made 2 saves in the second half. Same for the Nigerian goalkeeper, Chiamaka. She also made 2 saves in the second half. Corner kick, Japan had 0. Nigeria had 1. If you take a look at passes, tackles, it was 1. But in the second half, I understood Nigeria wanted to do something. Nigeria wanted to see if they could do a comeback because, first half ended in a 3-1 win for Japan. They wanted to do something because they had to win the game with a goal margin of 2. That was, looking at the goal they considered in the first half, I knew it was impossible, but then in football, you can't say it is impossible because we saw what happened to the Zambian ladies, Copa ladies. They really did something that I've never seen in my life before. So I was hoping that something similar was going to happen. If Copa ladies could sit down and concede those many of goals within that short period, I believe the Nigerian ladies could do something. But then it was something that was impossible. And I wasn't surprised at the end of the game. Japan, they managed the game in the second half, making sure that they did not concede. But then when they had the opportunity, they pounced. And I feel like Nigeria, they really were too eager. Like they were too eager to score a goal or too really eager to win it. They were losing focus of what they were supposed to do, their game plan and everything. But then the finishing was my problem. And the defense, 4 and 5, today it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. And the goalkeeper too, Charlie. Yeah, the free kicks she conceded. I'm not worried about the goal she conceded whilst the game was going on. It was the free kicks. Because some of these free kicks are routine saves for goalkeepers. Chiamaka should be doing better with those saves. Now, let's take a look at player ratings. This is my favorite part. So guys, let's take a look at player ratings. And normally I do this, get into the close of the video so that you will know how every player fared in that game. Not many people watch the Olympics, but then when you come here, I try to break it down to you so that you understand. So let's begin with the goalkeeper, Chiamaka. I'm going to rate her 4/10 because in my own opinion, she did some good saves in the game, but then when he mattered the most, she let the team down as a goalkeeper. Looking at that free kick she considered, so I'm going to give her 4/10. She did well in my own opinion, but then still 4/10. 4 and 5, Blessing and Osanachi. Blessing, I'm going to give her 6/10. She was quite good in the game, but she received a yellow card early in the game that, hampered the way she was going to, attack in the game. But then Osanachi, she was substituted in the game, but still, I'm going to give her 5/10. I felt like she was moving forward too unnecessarily. I know you want to win a game, but as a defender, come on. You don't need to move forward. That was what cost about, 2 goals in the first half. You move forward too much. It's too bad. They were losing focus. So Blessing, 6/10. Osanachi, 5/10. Michelle Alozie, I'm going to give her 6/10. I felt like she was one of the bright stars in the Nigeria Super Falcons team. See, she moves forward and contributes offensively. When she's doing her defensive aspects, she does it excellently. And she's so strong. She's so strong. So anytime I see her forward and she's crossing, I'm like, wow, this is something that Okeke cannot do. Okeke is just good defensively. Defensively, she's still doing mistakes. Offensively, she's not giving crosses. And watched the game throughout, and then in the first half, she did not give any cross. So I'm going to give Michelle 6/10. And as for Okeke, I'm going to give Okeke 5/10 because honestly, if you are going forward and you are not adding a lot forward, you are weakening the team because at the end of the day, if Michelle is whooping in crosses, you should also be whooping in crosses the same way. So I'm going to give Okeke 4/10. Michelle Alozie, 6/10. Blessing, I'm going to give her 6/10. Osanachi, I'm going to give her 5/10. Chiamaka, 4/10. Yes, 4/10. Let's come to the midfield. Deborah got injured in the game and was substituted, but then I felt like anytime she was in the middle, that she was doing her duties. So I'm going to give her 7/10. To me, I was impressed with her performance. Every time she has played as a DM, she knows how to handle the ball. Her passes are good. She knows how to intercept and destroy the opponent's plan. She did it today. Only that Japan were using the ball to pass the wings, not the middle. That was the most disturbing aspect of today's game. So I'm going to give Deborah 7/10. Let's come to Christy. Christy in the game, she gave an assist for the goal Nigeria scored. So because of that, I'm going to give her 7/10 also. I felt like she was contributing going forward. So I'm going to give her 7/10. Let's talk about our forwards. So let's talk about the forwards. And I'm going to talk about Tony Payne. Tony Payne in that game, she played the right wing a bit, played the left wing a bit. She was interchanging, which was quite good in the game. But then I felt like there were some deficiencies to her game today because she was losing possession a lot. She wasn't creating enough for the strikers. Whenever she had the ball, she was wasting too much time on the ball. So I'm going to give her 6/10 just because of that. But she was quite impressive in the game. Jennifer, who scored the goal. Jennifer, who was the only change in the starting lineup, scored a goal. I'm going to give her 8/10 in my own opinion because aside the goal, she was doing a lot of good movement in the game. Only that the passes were not going to her. She was playing as a number 10 and also playing as an auxiliary striker. And I love it for her. She did so well in the game. That was a beautiful goal from Jennifer in that game. I thought that goal was going to change out the girls. But then, they lost focus, they lost concentration and considered that free kick, which was unnecessary in my own opinion. So I'm going to give Jennifer 8/10. Rashidat Ajibade, I'm going to give her 6/10 because after the Brazil game where she really impressed, I felt like every single team came with a mind that they needed to attack her. They were attacking her 247 and she wasn't able to play her game. So I get it. I'm going to give her 6/10 because she was not able to overcome the obstacles that were in front of her. But then she wasn't bad in the game, in my own opinion. Oshola, I'm going to give her 5/10. It's not her fault. The passes were not coming. The chances were not being created for her. Looking at the height, I was expecting a lot of good crosses. It was only coming from Michelle and also Tony Payne. It wasn't coming from Okeke, and that was so difficult. It's going to be difficult for any striker in her shoes who is not getting the services. So I'm going to give her 5/10. She was changed in the game. And let's take a look at the substitute that came in the game. Nicole Payne, the sister of Tony Payne, she came in the game, and I'm going to give her 5/10 just because she came in the second half. She was quite good defensively, but then I was hoping that at least she would affect the game in a more positive light, but then that didn't happen in my own opinion. Chiwendu also came into the game. She was quite good. I love her first touch. The way she handles the ball is good. But then at the end of the day, if you don't score or win a game, all those things do not really matter. So I'm going to give Chiwendu 6/10. Esther, I'm going to give her 6/10. She also came in the 75th minute. I'm going to give her 6/10. She came in as a striker. I was expecting more from her. At the end of the day, if you're getting chances, you need to be banging it in. If you're not banging it in, you're not doing your duty as a striker. That is based on my own opinion. And lastly, Kano. Yes, Kano, who came in the 90th plus 1 minute, I felt like she came in the game too late. So I'm not going to really rate her. But then at the end of the day, I don't know why the coach would make that change. But then she came in the game too late. But at the end of the day, Nigeria lost 3-1, which is the most important scoreline. They're playing and everything. If you don't win the game, it's not important like that. And Nigeria really did not impress in this tournament. Not only Nigeria, the other African countries, both male and female, all did not impress. It only tells us that our level, we have not gotten there yet. The place we think we have gotten to, we have not gotten there yet. It's just a matter of time. We will get there. But now, we have not gotten there yet. We have been humbled in football when it comes to this Olympics. We need to go back and work on it, especially when it comes to women's football. So guys, this is how the game went. This is my own reaction and also analysis to it. I might be wrong, I might be right. And let me know yours down below in the comments. Thanks for joining me. My name is Adam. I'll make sure to see you in the next one. Charlie, we go vibe.